A tragic discovery leads to a heartbreaking investigation. 3-year-old Emiliano Terry is dead, and his mother is suspected of murder. Tonight, the community comes together to remember a young life gone too soon.
And I brought my great nephew to give him, to get a little kid at least some toys, because it is the holiday time.
And the autopsy on 3-year-old Emiliano Terry is now complete.
We're waiting for the medical examiner's ruling on the cause of death. But here's what we know at this point. Police have tentatively identified the body as Emiliano Terry, but the medical examiner says DNA tests will be required for a positive ID. Police arrested 20-year-old Camilla Terry. She has not been charged.
We have live team coverage for you tonight. Tracy Carlos has details on the investigation itself. But we're going to begin tonight with News Channel 5's Michael Baldwin with the latest on the mother and the search for evidence.
Yeah, Lee, before we get to that, I just want to say this. We just got something in from the medical examiner's office, and they said in a statement, because of the state of the body, some decomposition, there is no dismemberment. DNA testing will need to be done, and this will likely take a few days. So now we know why they haven't given a ruling as of yet. We do know that police, they want to wait for that ruling before they get a search warrant, but they've been over there in front of this apartment pretty much 24 hours a day, and they're waiting again for those search warrants. So right now we all have to do that, wait to find out what happened to this little boy. This is the face of a mother that told police she lost track of her 3-year-old little boy, a mother arrested and being held on suspicion of aggravated murder. She has not been officially charged, but clearly a suspect in the death of her son, 3-year-old Emiliano Terry. The place they once called home is anything but. Police surrounded the apartment, making sure no one goes in or out, protecting what could be crucial evidence inside as they await for the medical examiner to complete their investigation before executing search warrants. When the investigation is complete, we should know how this young boy died. How long had his body lay in a dumpster? We know that the medical examiner has said it may take 2 days to positively identify the body as 3-year-old Emiliano Terry. The identification may come from dental records, and then we will know how he died. But the big question will be why he died. What happened? We know that the store owner at the Sunoco gas station across the street said his camera showed his mother walking down East 130th Street Sunday evening with 2 children, not 3. Her son possibly left behind, protected by police round the clock. So what happened to this little boy whose smile is infectious? Something only one person may be able to tell us. And over there you can see there is a makeshift memorial. It started very small. It started with just one teddy bear, and slowly but surely it has grown as people have begun putting more and more stuffed animals for the 3-year-old. We are live in Cleveland. I'm Michael Baldwin, News Channel 5.
All right, thank you very much, Michael. Lee?
Well, tonight we're also learning more about Emiliano's 20-year-old mother through her own words. Camilla Terry posted a string of videos on YouTube in which she sings about her life in the foster system.
For the first time, I can actually smile about something that I'm happy for, and that's you.
She posted 5 songs and that she said she wrote and recorded. In one of the videos, she says she's been singing since she was 5 and writing songs since she was 10. Again, Camilla Terry has not been charged with a crime, but she is considered a suspect. A rally and vigil has been planned for tomorrow to remember Emiliano. The event is being organized by several local activist groups, but it is open to the public. People can gather at Kossuth Park, at East 121st and Shaker Boulevard. The vigil begins at 5:30.
Well, joining us now to give some insight into Camilla Terry as a former foster child and as a mother is the Chief Administrator of Cuyahoga County Division of Children and Family Services, Pat Rideout. And Pat, I thank you so much for being here with us this afternoon. First of all, tell us, how did Camilla Terry become a part of the foster care system?
Camilla's family was involved with the system for quite a long time. So Emiliano was a 3rd-generation child from her family, And Camelia had a tough upbringing that brought her to the attention of the department as a child and brought her into our custody by the time she was a teenager.
And while she was in custody, she had 2 children. Were there any signs when parenting the 2 children that there may have been some stress, there may have been an overload mentally, emotionally?
I think like all teen parents, she had challenges, but while she was a teen in our system, she of course was living in environments with a lot of support with other adults, sometimes with family members, with a series of foster parents. And so there was always a lot of support around her during those years.
Now, as she was singing in her songs about being stressed and once she ages out of the system, which is at the age of 18, what resources were available to her as any foster child is available to them?
She stayed with us beyond the age of 18, and many kids do. When they're in school, we can maintain them in our custody for longer, and she experienced that herself. During those years, we were working closely with her to try to enhance her skills at living independently and give her what she needed to transition into adulthood. Of course, with a couple of kids, she had an awful lot on her plate. And then after she aged out, as we say, and the court terminated our custody of her, she was able to come back to us, which she did some months later, and ask for some help again. And at that time, we provided quite a bit in the way of housing and assistance with education, mental health services, and the like to try to help her succeed as a mom.
Can you tell me when that time period was when she did reach out to the county?
Earlier this year.
And so you have not heard anything from Camelia Terry in the needs of needing help, needing assistance, or feeling like she was overwhelmed to the point that something like this could happen?
We were definitely not expecting this horrible tragedy, but we have been working with her fairly consistently over a period of months this year, yes.
In general, this is not negating the death happening, but you see this type of thing happening with children who go through the foster care system and they come out and they're having a hard time handling reality.
Well, I think kids should grow up in families, and unfortunately in the world we're in, too many kids are growing up in short-term families or no families at all. You know, we do our best to be a good parent to a kid like Camelia, but she grew up with a lot of hardship. It affected her, I'm sure, and she struggled in her teen years. So I think as a community, along with my agency, we have a lot of work to do to try to figure out how to help kids whose own families can't care for them safely to really have a strong family experience so that they're ready to face adulthood as strong parents.
Did she get counseling while she was with the county? Did she get the type of counseling that she would need to handle the stresses that brought her into the system?
She certainly had counseling more than once over the years. Whether it was just what she needed, that is very hard to say.
All right. Pat, we know you have a lot of work to do. We thank you so much for taking time out to talk to us today. Lee?
Well, despite the tragic outcome, authorities moved very quickly with this investigation. Police moved as soon as they got the 911 call Sunday evening. The FBI and Cleveland police say that cooperation, good police work, and experience played a role in bringing this case to end. 3-year-old Emiliano Terry's mother reported him missing around 5 o'clock on Sunday. Cleveland police officers responded immediately and began searching. Not long after the initial call, dozens of police officers, FBI agents, K-9 units converged on the area, including the CART team, which stands for Combined